Good day to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. And today we'll answer a very tricky question. And the question is, who is John Galt? With us in the studio is Tomasz Kołodziejczuk, a
Hello,
libertarianist activist.
Libertarian activist, yes. Libertarianism is a movement of radical freedom where people think that society should be organized voluntarily, without state or with minimal interference of state.
And how is it connected to the question, who is John Galt?
Well, I cannot tell you the answer to this question. Is like one of the questions that the listener should find himself the answer to. It was asked by Ayn Rand in her book Atlas Shrugged, which I mentioned earlier, where entrepreneurs disappeared from the world and they started asking question, who is John Galt? Who is John Galt? Why do people ask this question? Who is this person? Is this the person who stopped motor of the world, as Ayn Rand described? This actually question started culturally, this libertarian movement in America, when the Roosevelt policies of 40s and 50s started showing to lots of people that, hey, maybe we do not live anymore in the land of freedom. Maybe it's just becoming any welfare state as the rest in Europe. And who is John Galt was the founding question for this libertarian movement in the US and now in the world.
And it is becoming, well, let's say bigger and bigger. You have some sort of influence, and very recently you were a main organizer of a event in Warsaw called the Weekend of Capitalism, where you were trying to promote all of those ideas.
Yes, luckily in Poland this perception of ideas of freedom is quite friendly. I think it seems that the generation of our parents, they saw what living under socialism was like. And we can see what living under, let's say, capitalism and more free market is like. And we see how much difference it is. That's why people prefer the solutions of less government and more capitalism, more market in Poland. So we have this quite growing and quite vivid movement of libertarians in Poland. There is few NGOs and organizations which economically teach students and young professionals why free markets are good. There are NGOs which do some street activism and educate societies on, hey, maybe how government is trying to protect you, maybe it's not necessarily for your good. And we meet annually at Weekend of Capitalism, like the biggest gathering of free market minds. So we have, so there is like people from various groups, academia, business, art, politics, people from each of the groups which are pro-free market, which are pro-freedom, and which do not, like, they do not feel ashamed of showing under the brand of capitalism, because, well, capitalism does not have the good rep on the street today, and we are trying to change it, showing that hey, this is not like a system of rich, angry people, but it's not a system. It's an organization of society without the government. And we try to show it that it's actually beneficial to society, and there is more and more people who are friendly to such ideas. Because, well, today we are arguing whether right wing is good or left wing is good, while looking from the distance, looks like these two sides are quite the same. They all are for more government in education, more government in agriculture, more government in defense. Everywhere they want more government. There is not many groups, many political parties which say, hey, we want less politics in our lives. They just argue what politics should be about. No, we just want less politics in our lives. We do not need politicians. We do not need that much government as politicians are trying to tell us from the young age that we do.
Well, so you will definitely, but freedom, of course, is a case of responsibility. So talking about freedom without responsibility is like talking about a coin, but only on one side. Well, it looks like
citizens, they need to be responsible for their actions, but politicians do not. So maybe you should tell government, hey, think about responsibilities. Who will be responsible for results of your policies in 50 years when you will be gone? But we will have no money in pension funds. We will have problems with enough technology in our country, with enough entrepreneurs, with enough businesses. Who will be responsible for these results of socialist policies in our countries? Not them.
Well,
us.
the question is, of course, to you, well, what is the government responsible for, and is it enough responsibility? And we'll leave you with this open question to answer. Please write down comments, and of course, again, thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.